Well, good morning, Mr. Man on the street. I see you're having your breakfast.
Well, good morning to you, Johnny. Yeah, we're having our traditional breakfast. Okay.
Yeah, you had some.
Today I'm having cream of wheat with raisins and flaxseed in it. Okay, so and it was just absolutely yummy. So
You got your coffee there also.
yeah, and the traditional English muffins with honey. Honey is very important, and we ate a lot of honey.
And looks
got
like
stung a lot getting the honey. Though.
Looks like a banana on there too, and crunchy peanut butter.
Anyway, well, back in my younger days, we didn't have lights. We didn't have electricity, so we had to take advantage of the sun, the daylight. Okay, so we were up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and we hadn't eaten. Okay, then we went out to the barn to milk the cows and feed the pigs and so on and so forth. And so, anyway, I remember trying to get from the house to the barn. This goose used to chase me, and we would look and see where the goose was, and then we'd run like mad to the granary and get to the granary.
You had to get away from the goose.
Would go away, and then when he went away, we would go from the granary to the barn. Okay, that goose always chased us.
So he was chasing you in the morning, so you had to get up early to do your morning chores?
Oh yeah, and it was about 2 hours worth. Okay, so we went about 4, then 6 o'clock, and find the sun's coming up and pretty good, and so, and we were really hungry, so we go in there and Grandma's have those eggs floating in that grease, and have that homemade bread and homemade butter, and so.
So what was your typical breakfast like then? You said she was making you eggs and homemade bread. So was she cooking on a wood stove, or what was she cooking on?
Oh, it's a wooden stove. We didn't have electricity or anything, and we didn't want to do coal in the kitchen because it was it was dirty. So we had these sticks of wood that she used, okay, small sticks, and so there was a big old container here for all those sticks of wood that Grandma used. So she'd get that thing going, and those eggs are going in there, bubbling and like that, and
so was it was bubbling in the grease in the pan? Was it a bunch of grease in the pan she was cooking with?
Excuse?
Was it grease in the pan? Was that what was bubbling away?
Oh, it was pig grease.
Oh, pig grease. Okay.
Oh yeah, fat.
So some pig fat. So she put pig fat in there to cook the eggs in.
Yeah, it was the worst nutrition you could ever imagine, but it was so good. Okay.
It was probably tasty.
Yeah, very tasty. Yeah.
But, so you had eggs and some bread.
And gobble up. We might be 3 or a couple, 2, 3 eggs. Okay, with some homemade bread.
Was there any meat? Did she have any?
Yeah. Oh, sausage. You had sausage.
Oh, sausage. Okay, sausage and eggs
all the
and some
time
bread.
Had sausage.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, it was so good. But I think if you'd have kept going with that and electricity hadn't come in there, we'd have continued, and then we'd died early. We would die early.
You all would have had coronary heart attacks from all that pig fat and the grease. But you know what? It was really, a tasty meal.
It was really good. Excuse?
It was a tasty meal, it sounds like.
Oh, it was absolutely beyond yummy. Okay.
So once all the boys were all fed, then it was back out into the farm for the rest of the day?
After you got done with your breakfast, okay,
yeah.
then it was back out to the farm, okay,
yeah,
with the manure and manure spreading and so on and so forth, and the garden, weeding the garden. So, oh my goodness, it was.
Well, I guess there's a little more conveniences today, and I no going out to breakfast, but all your breakfasts were right there on the farm, and tasty meals. Well, we'll talk about lunch and dinner, some meals on another man on the street. What do you think?
Well, dinner was almost timely. It was noon. Noon was dinner time. Noon.
Oh, okay.
When you could see noon coming, you knew the meal was going to be ready. Okay.
So then you went back to the house. You came in from the field and from the farm back into the house, and your grandma would have your dinner ready.
It would usually be beef. Okay. And a lot of times chicken. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is it chicken or beef? Chicken or beef? And always potatoes. Either mashed or whole. Okay.
So did you raise
peas? And green beans. Peas and green beans.
So you had some vegetables, some potatoes, and some meat. Were the chickens raised on the farm, or did you trade those with other farmers?
Oh no, you had to have chickens. Okay, you had to have chickens for the eggs. Okay.
Okay, so she was making use of the chickens.
I tell you what, I got to tell you a story about chickens. Okay, so we moved into Manchester, Tennessee, and we're on the outskirts of. And we had a little bit of land, okay, and we raised chickens, okay. So I remember Grandma or Grandpa wringing the neck of the chicken, okay, wring it. Okay? That's how, and he'd, and pretty soon it'd fly off, and it'd jump around for a while, and so when I got to this place in Manchester, Tennessee, we had the chickens, and so. Here comes the chickens. They're growing up. They're getting to be in the age of where you could butcher them. Okay, so I'm going to wring the neck of that chicken. Okay, so I caught that old chicken. Okay, the biggest one in that whole flock, and I grabbed it, and Tori was right there. Okay. So Tori was a gutsy little girl. So anyway, the other girls ran away. They didn't want to see the chicken. So I rang. I thought it would be forever before that chicken got, because I remember Grandpa, and here goes the chicken. I ring. And
I guess that's just life on the farm.
And pretty soon it came off, but it was it was a hard. I said, I'm never gonna wring chickens' necks again. I'll chop them off first.
Well, that's just life on a farm, I guess. It's just you got to butcher your own animals and to sustain everybody's life.
Yeah, you see, during Depression, okay, we never had a problem. We always had plenty of food, okay, and we'd take eggs. We had a lot of chickens and a lot of eggs, so that was one of my big problems is collecting the eggs, okay. And we had these big crates that we put the eggs in, okay, and they were reusable, so you just fill that up, take it to the store. Bring home some bananas and flour.
So were you
trading?
You were trading the eggs with the local merchant or other farmers?
We never had any money.
Yeah. So you just traded with the other farmers or the local merchant?
Oh well, the farm.
Yeah.
They had a farm store. Okay. You take those eggs in there and trade them for flour and bananas usually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, did you do a lot of fishing, or was there any lakes that you'd get some fresh fish?
Well, we had fish probably at least twice a week. Okay.
Yeah.
And we had lakes. Everybody had lakes. Okay. We had turtles. Okay. My grandpa kept turtles, and he butchered turtles. Okay.
Maybe a little turtle soup and what type of fish were you catching to eat?
Bullheads.
Bullheads.
They looked like a miniature catfish. and they had stickers on them. But you stuck all the time. And it would hurt your hands. Okay, but you had to in order to skin them, you had to hold them. Okay, so.
Well, I guess you had to be a bit careful then.
They're only about 10 inches long. Okay. And
now, would your grandmother, would she fry them up in a pan, or what would she do with those bullheads?
Oh, after we skinned them,
yeah,
okay, and then degutted them, okay, we, take it in, wash them off, give it to Grandma, okay, and she would have a mixture of flour and seasoning, salt and pepper and so on. I guess it's salt and pepper was the seasoning of the day.
Kind of simple, but tasty.
And then flour. So she dipped those in there, okay, and then had that bubbling grease again, okay. She'd put it in,
Right, so she'd dip it in that pig fat, and then she fried it up in the pig fat.
It was always grease.
All that grease.
It was pork fat, yeah.
Pork fat, that pig fat.
Yeah. Bacon. We had bacon too, but we did. But it was really fat back. Okay, it wasn't cured. It was just fried, It was just fried grease. but it was crispy. It was crispy.
Yeah.
So we'll go back.
Probably had a lot of flavor to it.
Yeah, we'll go back to the bullheads. Okay.
Oh, okay.
The most tasty thing in that bullhead was the tail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it would get real crispy, and you go, I gotta chomp that tail off because. That was the tasty part of the bullhead.
Well, that sounds like a special treat then, if you got the tail.
Yeah, the tail.
Well, that's a little bit of life from the 1930s living on a farm.
Yeah, we worked our tails off. I tell you, we lifted things that kids couldn't even lift nowadays. I don't think we. That's how we got muscly and strong. Okay?
Yeah. Well, I tell you what. Let's pick up another interview on another topic from back when you were growing up. But that's a little bit about some food.
I'll be glad to do it, and I thank you for these interviews,
all right,
Johnny. I appreciate it.
Have a great day, Mr. Man on the Street.
Bye bye.